Hi, I'm Robert Haase. This is part of the Not What You Had Planned program, and this last weekend I was able to meet with a woman named Erica Casucci and her husband Frank in New York City. And Erica just 2 months ago had the surgery and hemiglossectomy surgery, and is dealing now with that recovery process. And it just goes to show you this. Her husband Frank is an amazing man as well, and surround yourself with people who love you and support you during this process. Don't do it alone. It can be very scary and unnerving, but you will get through it. You will make it through, and it's different for all of us, but that healing process just takes time. And I'm going to introduce you now to Erica, and she can tell you her story. Here we go. We're here today with Erica Casucci. And Erica, and actually met her online, and she was searching for information on hemiglossectomies, and she found my videos and my updates and things, and that was a source of us originally getting connected. And she and her husband invited me to come out and for a visit when I was here in New York City, and able to visit them, and actually in Brooklyn here. So thanks for taking part in this.
Thank you for coming here and visiting me.
Yeah,
I'm so happy to see you.
Thanks. You're 2 months out. You had the surgery. Had half your tongue taken out, kind of a diagonal. Mine's
right
up the center, and yours kind of went more of an angle on that. And how's the recovery?
So it's been pretty tough. At the beginning was very difficult. It was hard to see where I was going to be at in the long run. Talking was very difficult. Eating was impossible. It was very frustrating, but I'm here 2 months and I feel great. I'm eating a lot of solid food, which is amazing after 2 months, and I'm able to talk to my doctor. Told my family that I wouldn't be able to talk until 6 months, and here I am 2 months out, and I'm able to have a conversation.
Right, and there's certain letters like L. It's hard for you. It took me a while to say my L's properly as well, but you're still dealing with swelling and that, and you still have your peg tube in to do feeding. Are you doing most of your food by peg tube or most by mouth right now?
Right now, I just started trying to eat mostly through mouth because I set a goal to get rid of my peg tube. The peg tube is very frustrating because it's my lifeline. I had to eat. That's the only way I would have been able to eat. I would have been probably 75 pounds if I didn't have a peg tube. So I'm thankful for it that my doctor forced me to get it.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that within a month it'll be out.
And I've met those who didn't have the tube, and it was difficult because you're dealing with the pain. You're dealing with trying to, get the manipulate your tongue to get food down. So at first you're with pretty liquid type diet.
Oh yeah, or liquid. I was drinking. At first I started drinking Osmite and Ensure, and I felt so drained. And now I've been started putting pureed food to my peg tube, and I started feeling much better. Right.
Now, you you didn't have any kind of metastases into your lymph nodes at all, so you didn't have to deal with that. You just had your tongue surgery itself, and you've opted to take what path then as far as treatment after the surgery? Are you doing anything else besides that?
Right, so I had a partial gastrectomy last year, and I followed with radiation and brachytherapy. And then, unfortunately, I had a reoccurrence in July of 2015, and I had to have the hemiglossectomy. So after surgery, I could have followed with radiation chemo, but because my margins were clear and it did not spread to my lymph nodes, I decided to just have my doctors closely monitor me every month. So I'm probably seeing at least 2 doctors a month and having a PET scan every 3 months to hope that, everything will be clear.
Right. So clear margins are good. Mine were clear also, but they were very, very thin. And so that in combination with having my lymph node exploding like a squished blueberry, my doctor said that made it more necessary. So tell me more. I want to talk about understand how this affected you. You got the news that you have to have the hemiglossectomy. You had to have your tongue removed. How did that affect you?
So I had gone to the doctor, and they did a biopsy right when he felt something hard on my tongue.
Right.
And he had rushed the biopsy the following day. I got a phone call as I'm driving home, and my doctor tells me that I have cancer again. And I was devastated, and my initial reaction was no more surgery. I can't handle another surgery because I already had 2 surgeries prior. Right. And after going home, thinking about it, crying, saying why again, why did it happen again, I decided that, and doing my research, I found you online, and I was like, okay, well, he did it, I could do it, and he sounds great, So you were my inspiration to do the surgery. I was like, okay, well, it's possible I could get through it and live, I have quality of life. Because I was being told that my quality of life would be very different.
Yeah, quality of life is we talked about this earlier. It's kind of subjective as far as what do you want, what are your expectations of the future, and of course, being alive is nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Looking at what that looks like, I think the hardest part emotionally is, you're an elementary school teacher, right?
Mm-hmm,
so you also speak for a living, and to have someone tell you that you're taking away your ability to at least speak the way you used to speak, it's scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so important. Speaking for my profession, I go in every day. I have to speak clear so my students understand me. When I went I told my principal what happened to me, and she was very understanding. And she said, take the time you need, and when you come back, we'll figure out something for you. So that made me feel relieved. And okay, well, I know I have a place to go afterwards, and it may not be the same position, but we'll make it work. So I am looking forward to going back to work. And I feel like at this point, how I sound, I would be able to do it and feel confident.
Right. And the fact is that people, when people can speak what's normal, people they kind of listen to you, but when they have to take time to listen to what you're saying, how you're articulating, enunciating, they actually might listen better. It's like,
right.
What'd she say? You have to actually listen to you more. So
you have to actively listen, so you have to concentrate and hear every word. So
what have you felt has been the most helpful from, you've had friends and family, you have a great husband who's been supportive for you, and what kind of things made it easier for you to get through this and their support?
Well, my husband has been amazing. He is definitely my anchor, and he's been there for every moment, every step of the way. And also, I have a really huge family unit, and whether they came over and helped clean my house, or I have people cooking food, pureeing, and bringing it over to me as well. Just every little thing, even just sitting down on my couch and giving me words of encouragement that I'm going to get through it and everything's going to be okay.
It's nice, yeah. It's people. Oftentimes you don't know what to say. If you're watching this video and you're have a family member who's about to go through this, just being there, being available, and people that you can say, "Oh, I'm so sorry you're going through this." When you're going through it, that doesn't help. What you want is someone just to give you a hug, to stop by, to be able to do something for you. It's nice, but just to know that you're loved and supported, and you have someone to call if you need something. You might be able to say it very easily. I did a lot of typing on my laptop at first. I couldn't speak. I had to, use some large fonts and type out what I needed. But and that's hard too. Even asking for help.
Right.
Is that hard for you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel bad having people come over, but for the most part, all my loved ones, you just show up. They're there for me. Call up on the phone, and they were there in the hospital for me. I always had at least 5 people in the hospital when I was there, and even at nighttime, my mom, my husband would take turns sleeping there at night because I couldn't talk. I had a trach, and you can't talk, so I was writing everything down. So it's so important to have someone there to speak on your behalf. If you're not feeling well, they could run to a nurse and get what you need, whether it's medication or to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I went through this as a single person. My sister Lisa I have 2 sisters, Linda and Lisa, and Linda lives farther away. But Lisa came and lived with me for about 6 weeks, and she was there. And then after, when I almost died from the treatment, she was panicked, and she actually had a cot, and she slept at the foot of my bed, and she got up throughout the night and listening if I'm still breathing, and it was more worrisome for my family almost. I was trying to prop them up, make sure they're okay. And my daughters, I have 3 amazing daughters, and they were very, very, it was a very hard time for them, but we actually grew closer as a family because of this. I think you'll probably find that's going to be the case too, as your relationships are strengthening. Is there anything that you've, this I hate to say journey, but the situation you've gone through, is there anything that you've learned from this as of how it's affected you?
It definitely helped me become more spiritual, because I felt like I need something more religion, something to hold on to give me that hope. So whereas normally, I wouldn't go to church, or, I would pray, but it wasn't like deep praying. Now I find myself that it's important for me to meditate every day and sit and listen to myself and what my body needs, where I was always pushing myself and always on the go. But since everything's happened, I think I've taken more time for myself and what my body needs.
It's easy to kind of go through life and not thinking about to get so busy, hustle, bustle, and now this gives you time to really contemplate and think about those things. And if there was something specific you would say that your family could specifically do for you in the process of supporting you, what would be the most, maybe a thing or maybe a couple of things that would be the most helpful that they could do, or maybe that you can encourage people to do?
Yeah, absolutely. Stay positive. You want to keep upbeat. I mean, at the same time, it was difficult sometimes when everyone was too positive, because I would be in a dark place. But now that I look at it, it was good that everyone stayed strong for me, because it helped me get through this difficult time.
Yeah. Positive is good. I mean, obviously, if people are emotional, they're stressed, they're they don't know what to say, and you don't have to be a cheerleader, but at the same time, as the person's always worried about you dying, it's like, we're all going to die.
Right. It was something hard for me, because I was like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? I was worried about dying, and someone had one time said to me, like, okay, so everyone dies eventually, and I was like, yeah, you're right, but I'm not ready to die, so I want to be here for a very long time.
Yeah, and it's amazing too for me. I love my family, but my daughters, sticking around for them, there was no option. I want to see them grow up and have grandbabies, and not yet. But I want to see them, grow up and be there. And so for me, that was the driving force of I have to get well, and for people who are going through this, they need to find that what's the most important thing and focus on that. And so I met your husband. He's an amazing man, but surround yourself with people who are going to be supportive for you. And if you're supporting someone, if you're watching this and supporting someone, realize that just having you there sometimes is enough, and sometimes having you not there is necessary too. It's just the person can have some quiet and go through that as well. So
definitely need some space too.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you so much for taking the time to do this, Erica. Again, if you have any questions, email them in, and but we'd love to hear your stories as well. So thanks.
Thank you.
All right.